Hey guys, welcome back to another Vinny Vid production. Also is a Vinny Built Structure production. In this video, we're going to go over how I do John Prescott's build. As you guys know, before I had my hand surgery, I had cut out a bunch of parts for it, and so I decided to start putting it together. And I'll show you guys how I do it. But first, before we get with that, I'm going to cry out for a little help again. Yesterday, I had the opportunity to pick a few of these guys up. And they are Peco Code 55 turnouts. My problem is I was trying to mess around with one of them last night, and I couldn't get Code 55 rail joiners on here. And once I did get it on there, I noticed when I put the track up to it that the track was way lower than the turnout is. So if any of you N-Scale guys have used Pico-Track, please tell me how you did it, because you know my layout's been down for quite a while, and I'm going to change out my turnouts. So any help would be appreciated. Anyhow, there I go with the anyhows. Let me put this up on the shelf here. We'll get to the John's build, and I'll show you some of the stuff and then kind of like fast forward through it, and we'll see what the finished product is. Okay, so right now we are going to make, let's see, I need to turn this around here, get this down here. We're going to make this side look like this side. So for me to do that, I need to have lots of support, and what I use for my support is Evergreen number 297 angle. And what I do with the angle is, let me get you down here. What I do with the angle is I cut it to size, and I will fasten it to here, and this will secure this wall to the floor. Okay, so I have already pre-cut some pieces, and I'll show you how I cut them. It is very easy with this angle stuff. Anyhow, there I go with the anyhow again. To cut these pieces is very simple. I don't have very much strength in my hand, so I can't use my X-Acto knife, but what I did use is just a regular pair of scissors, and I have already marked it. I don't know if you guys can see the line there, and all you need to do is snip it, and it's done. So this is going to require 4 pieces of support, and what I'll do is I will go ahead and glue that down. Let me get this guy out here. And then also I'm going to need another piece here which will secure the back wall. So this here I'm just going to kind of eyeball it, and there you go. And so now I've got my supports for the first wall on this side, and that'll go right there just like that. Anyhow, I'll go ahead and glue this, and at this point we'll probably fast forward it. Also, you guys know that I've been using these signage from the Home Depot or Lowe's. What you need to do anytime you're going to use this stuff, it has a very glossy surface, and the glue doesn't adhere to it very well. So what I do is I scuff up the edges with a piece of sandpaper or an emery cloth, especially down here on the bottom where the lettering is. Scuff it up really good so the glue adheres a little bit better. Anyhow, I'm going to go ahead and glue this, and we'll be right back. Alright, we're going to go ahead and glue this stuff on here now, and what I'm using is Model Masters glue. It seems to work well for me, and I'm very happy with it, so we'll just go ahead and spread some glue on here, and then we'll stick this guy down here, make sure it's even with the edge. I don't have any fancy tools to do all this kind of stuff, so I got to do it all by pretty much eyeball. Okay, that's one, and now we're going to do number 2, and just smear the glue on there like that, and we'll put him on there. And we will make sure, oops, we'll make sure that my edges are even with each other. And move this guy down a bit. I love this glue because it almost immediate contact. But anyhow, there we go. So now it's just a matter of doing these two corner pieces. And these will secure to the front wall and to the back wall. And I already have the back wall cut out and painted, so I'm just waiting to get all of this stuff done. And then I will, let me get this piece that fell on the floor. Alright, and now we'll go ahead and do the other side here. I use lots of glue, so we don't have any problems during shipping or anything like that. Again, get it even with the edge. I don't know if you guys, it's hard doing this and filming at the same time, but I'm trying. Okay, this piece is pretty much ready to be installed, so we'll give it a minute or two and let it dry up, and it will be secured right here. And once that gets secured like that, oops, once it gets secured like that, then we will add the front support like that. So let me go ahead and smear some glue on here. Let's see here. Good there. Now sometimes you may have to file down a little bit, but hey, try and get it as even as you can so it's less work for you to do. Alright, that looks pretty good. Alright, so now we're just going to take the glue and we're going to give it a schmearzy-wearzy here. And we'll give it a little schmearzy-wearzy here. And we're ready to put this guy onto the building. And there we go, right there. And we'll hold that guy a little close right there. Give this a second to cure up a bit. Alright, we'll let that sit up for a minute, and I'll be back in a few minutes and we'll continue on. Alright guys, we're back. I went ahead and secured this piece right here, which is going to be the support for the front fascia on this build. Anyhow, for these supports right here, I used evergreen 100 by 100 rod or strips, whatever you want to call them. And then for this guy, this white strip up here is what's going to secure the upright on the angle of the bottom. And for that I used this 30 thousandths by 156 thousandths styrene strips again. So my next step is going to be adding the windows, because I have to put the windows in order for me to get this up angle here. So basically, I had marked these for which side they go to. So let me get this tape off of here. Alright. Basically, what we're going to do is smear a lot of glue on the back of this and go ahead and stick it right in there like that. Okay. So for this here, I'm going to prop this up a little bit so you guys can see a little bit better. Alright. So, here we go. We're going to put some glue on this puppy right here and just kind of give it a good douse of glue. Just like that. And then we're going to take this guy and we're going to stick him right in here like that and give him a little bit of securing. And we'll give that a minute and to set up. Now the reason for that white strip is when I go ahead and install this piece right here, which is the bottom upright, I needed a place for that to secure to. And so that's going to serve my purpose. Anyhow, we'll give that a few more minutes and then I'll go ahead and continue this. Now I don't put this wall on until I have this wall in place, because I cover the seam that this is going to be here with this piece. By putting it over like that, you won't see the seam. And I always strive to have no seams or no visible seams on my builds. Anyhow, give me a couple of minutes for that to set up and we'll be right back. Alright guys, we're going to go ahead and install the bottom part of this fascia, which is the angle that goes up from the windows to the actual front fascia. So what I'm doing here is just putting a bead of glue along the edge, trying to be as careful as I can because it's going to go up against the glass. Anyhow, we'll take this and we will put it up against the glass white strip that I had in there and give it a minute to set up again. And once that sets up, I'll go ahead and add a bead of glue in here and that'll hold that. And then when I put the front piece on, I will cover that seam and also add some glue there. So let's see, we'll go ahead and add some glue in here. Very short and thin piece up in there, guys, so it's kind of hard to get it all where it needs to be. So sorry if I'm putting my hands in the way, but it's the only way I can get to this. And I always use lots and lots of glue. Alright, so now basically that'll set up and we'll be ready to do our next part of our fascia. And I'm not going to be able to go too much further than this part of the build because I need to cut some plastic and my wrist is still not strong enough to do any cutting. So when I get to the next part, we'll call this the end of this video and we'll continue on with the build, and hopefully I can get to the plexiglass front and finish this project by the end of this next week so John can stick it on his layout, go at his office building. Anyhow, the anyhows. And I'll probably have to file this down a bit in the front because, like I said, I don't use any special tools to build this stuff, so I try and get it as square as I possibly can, and sometimes that works and sometimes it don't. So I guess that's going to be it for now, and as you can see, we have the bottom part of the fascia on here. Oops. It's my prop-up tool. And so the next thing I'm going to do will be to add this guy in the front here. And I'll go ahead and sand down this front piece a little bit. And we'll go ahead and put this piece on and we'll call it the end. So I'll be right back. Alright guys, I decided to use the 125 by 125 strips and put it along the front edge of this, and that'll give me a little bit more gluing surface when I put it to the back of this piece. Anyhow, let's go ahead and install this. So we'll run a bead of glue right down this strip that I put on here, and like I said, I like using lots of glue. And then we'll put a bead down this guy. And now this is going to hide any seams that you can see by looking at it straight forward. Of course, if you look at it from the top, you'll see some seams. Alright, and oh, we're a little bit too long. We need to trim this guy down a bit. Scissors. Scissors come in very handy. Alright, and that came out pretty good. No, we're still a little bit long back there. Alright. Damn, you know, it's like you measure twice and cut once, but that doesn't seem to be applying to this. I had already measured these guys out, and seems that I need to cut some more off. I just wish I could use my frickin' knife. Now a lot of this is going to get covered up by the back wall, so you won't see some of these bad cuts, but let's go ahead and put more glue on here. And we'll see how this works out again. Not good to have so much coffee in the morning before you do a build. Yeah, that's a little bit better. And so now we'll just push it up against there, push it down in the back. Get this guy up again. Come on, get up there. You get up here too. We need to get this end up a bit. There we go. That's better. There we go. Alright, well, I think that's going to conclude today's project. Just let this get a little set up here. And it keeps on sinking down the back. Come on, get up there and stay. Get up there and stay. You too. Get up here and stay. Alright. Now, of course, there's going to be some sanding involved here. Not everything is perfect. Like I said, I don't have any special tools to make my cuts as straight as I can. But for being on a primitive side of building, I think my builds come out pretty good. So, anyhow, there's my famous words again. So the next step after this would be to add the windows and then to do the glass facade up here. Oops. There'll be one more facade up here that goes to the top of the building, and then the plexiglass in the front, and we will be done with this build. Anyhow, I hope you guys enjoyed this build. It's my first time ever doing a live build on video, so please excuse the inconsistency of all the parts to this, but I think you guys will get the main idea of what goes on here and how I do my builds. And we'll just let that set up, because that looks pretty darn good. Everything is pretty even up here. And John, we're another step closer to your completion of your building. Anyhow, there we go with the anyhow again. Let's see here. Alright. Okay, so anyhow, I hope you guys like that build. When I get my wrist back in shape, I will cut the plexiglass for you guys and show you how I assemble that part. And I guess that's it for now. So stay tuned for more updates. And for now, that's all, folks. BNSF 6951 out.